going on? Welcome to episode 8 of LGAHL Access. I am your host, Bryson66. We are doing the week 8 recap. Got the usual panel here. We've got Dunks, we've got Dwnsyndromedave, and we've got Garrus. How are you gentlemen doing this evening?
Very fine.
Don't be shy. I am 0-3 and loving life right now.
Loving life. 0-3 can make you're fat, as you say in the chat box. You don't have anything new for the community today, Dunks?
I broke my Astros yesterday. That kind of sucks.
But you have a new headset, and you like
them?
I
did get a new headset, and
tell the people what they are.
Well, so everybody knows, or most people know, who F5 Penguin is. He and I talk almost, I want to say, every day. And I reached out to him. I'm like, hey, man, I know you're like the tech guru, and I want to get a new headset. I was actually looking at the SteelSeries headset because I can use them on my PS4, my PC, and my Xbox. And Penguin was like, fuck no, you're an idiot. Don't do that. Check out the Plantronics LGAHL LX headset. It's the #1 rated headset. It's got Dolby Atmos surround sound, which is like the new like best standard for Dolby Digital surround sound. And they're only $150, 100% wireless. So I'm really liking them so far. So
good.
Hopefully,
and they were only They were only 150 too. Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
I was just saying, I used to have a Plantronics headset as well, and it worked really well for me. But I also have SteelSeries, so
yeah, I like SteelSeries, but I've used their peripherals for like PC gaming, but I've never used it for console, so I was kind of iffy about trying it. So
actually, one of the most comfortable headsets I have ever had, as far as comfort goes, was Skull Candy. Believe it or not, for gaming.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to buy these Afterglows that were freaking perfect, man. They were so comfortable, and the sound was awesome. I loved them, but the headband would snap. I got a big head. Shocker. Shocked the world right there. But yeah, I mean, it's weird. I mean, I love my Astros, don't get me wrong, but they were fucking expensive. So, all right, good for you, Dunks. I'm glad you opened up on the show. That's what it's all about, opening up and being yourself. No comment.
No, I got nothing.
All right. All right, so let's
hang on. I gotta open up. I'm gay. Sorry.
You can tell we're running out of material. We're talking about Dunks' emotions on the show.
Oh.
I mean, I feel like we can afford to do that, so
we can afford to do that. All right. News-wise, we don't really have much. Not too much happened. Just made that donation today. I put that in our last week's show thread. It was good. Good money. A lot of money we put towards this donation, so we're pretty happy about that.
I am particularly very happy. I thought we did a really good job.
Yeah, it was nice to see. So, and the only other thing we have news-wise to discuss is we've got one more week left, and we are now in well, I'm sure like San Jose, a lot of us have been in the playoff race for the last couple of weeks, but now it's down to the wire. We're down to the last week. Teams are eliminated. Milwaukee in the West. That's it for the West. And then West is tough, man. There's some teams in the West that aren't making playoffs, and it's kind of a shame. And then in the East, it's Hartford, Belleville, and Toronto who have been eliminated from contention. In the West, the people that have clinched, the Penguins have clinched the wild card spot, and Manitoba has clinched the Presidents. But I believe somewhere I saw I think the managers were discussing it, that if Stockton goes undefeated and Manitoba loses every game, I think Stockton can end up winning the Presidents, but we know that ain't going to happen because, well, Manitoba's a good team. And Stockton clinched a wild card spot as well, which I don't know why it says wild card, because it's all division. It's not like the NHL. It's 4 teams in each division. So right now it's the setup for each division. It's 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. I talked with the guys to make sure I was right on that. So let's discuss here a bit, guys. For the Atlantic, it's going to be Pittsburgh Bruins and Phantoms Bears. For the North, it's going to be Laval Binghamton, Utica Rochester, In the Central, it's Manitoba, Iowa, Cleveland, Colorado. That would be a really fun series to watch. Stockton, San Jose for the Pacific, and Ontario, San Diego. Who out of all those series, now, you can be biased, you can say us if you'd like. Which one do you guys think is going to be the most entertaining? Preferably a series that's going to go to 7 games.
Hey, to be honest, I wouldn't want to play Stockton. I'd rather see if we can leapfrog one of these 2 teams. Hey, you might even know, you might see Texas jump in there. I mean, not ahead of us, but I mean, it's a while last week. So, a lot can happen. I've seen crazier things. So, I mean, all we got to do is keep on keeping on and don't look back. But, yeah, I mean, Cleveland, Colorado. Yeah, a whole bunch of series. I mean, you don't know who's going to win. Team like 4th, what he had, almost 3 President's Trophies in a row. And what?
First round exits every time, right?
Yeah, or like first, second round exits. Kind of looks like the Washington Capitals of LGAHL.
That'd be AHL, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, man. I don't mind playing Stockton. San Diego scares me, man. They're a pretty good team. I feel like they've been overlooked a lot because of all the noise that Manitoba and Stockton make in the West.
Yeah, I remember taking them lightly on the first night of the season, and they ECU Dubs, and
yeah, that sucked.
Fuck. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Watch your but anyway,
Dave, anybody?
I think honestly, if the playoffs were to start now, I think I'm most excited to see in our division the Rain and the Gulls. It's the only 2 and 3 matchup where both teams already have 100 points, and I don't want to see either of those teams go out in the first round because there's both such good teams, but it's just the way the system is now and how tough that specific division is. I think it'd be a Game 7 series, no problem.
If I were to jump outside the West and pick an East division, East matchup that I would want to watch, I would have to say, man, any of the North matchups. I think Laval has caught on fire lately and done some pretty good things. Utica's got a good team. Rochester's been pretty good, and Binghamton, and they need to keep winning. Well, Syracuse is way behind, so I mean they're pretty much penciled in there. So it's those 4 teams. I think any combination of those 2 teams is going to be a good matchup.
Yeah, and even Providence Penguins might be close. Providence has had a lot of overtime losses, so they could have a lot more points than they currently have.
Well, Providence management also got banned last week.
That's rough.
I really don't think, in my
they might not even make it.
In my honest opinion, I don't think that they are going to hold on to that spot. I think Bridgeport might leapfrog them this week. We'll see what Bridgeport does this week. I'm pretty sure they have a fairly easy week. They did all right last week. Actually, no, they didn't. Sorry, they went 4-5. But it's all interdivisional games this week. So
yeah, Bridgeport plays Providence on Monday.
Yeah, that's a huge game. So we'll see how that game goes. That could hinge. That could be the Bruins and the Sound Tigers series right there. Seasons on the line right there. That game. So.
Yeah, and I don't think Providence is all that bad of a team, but like you said, it kind of hinders the team. I still think, I don't know, Bridgeport's been playing their asses off to try and get in, so I guess we'll see what happens here the last week.
I think a really good series that I really want to see is the Binghamton Devils versus Laval. I think Laval has one like superstar line, and then that's I don't want to say that's about it, but I mean that line's really good, and then the other lines are okay. They're pretty decent.
If
but
they
Binghamton has some decent balance to the lineup, and they have Riva and net. And man, if Riva can steal a game or 2 for them, it's going to be unreal.
I think if Laval can balance out their defensive pairings, they're a bit of a scary team. With Modemizer, Grocery, they have Grocery Stick now, correct? They got him from Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Vacuum Cube. That's 3. When you have 3 good defensemen, you can balance that out. You can win any game, man. It's, In the AHL, man, defense. I mean, in any league, defense wins all. I feel so.
Can you give a shout out to Provorov? Biggest fan.
Oh, I forgot about Provorov. Actually, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot Provorov. That's my fault.
I know.
But so that's even more ridiculous. You know, for pretty stellar defensemen. You know, but like you said, Riva's been good. Hopefully, he's even better in the playoffs for Binghamton. Binghamton could make the conference finals, but that's going to be a tough division to get out of. I think a lot of good teams are in those four. So,
yeah, I think Wilkes-Barre makes it out of their division, and then the other division we'll see. I'm not sure.
Maybe Hershey's not no slack either. That's true. It's gonna be Hershey Wilkes-Barre to win that division round in the second round, and I don't know. Depends. Crosby's been playing pretty well this season, and I mean, I'm not gonna go too much into it, but you know, Hutton is a serviceable player, so we'll see what they have to offer here in the second round against Wilkes-Barre. We'll see. So, but we're gonna move on here. We are gonna go on to lines of the week. Got a short show for you. Just lines of the week in power rankings. Gonna make it quick and sweet for you. Next up is lines. Don't want to miss it. Welcome back as we are here for Lines of the Week. This is where we do the best 6 guys of the East at each position, their position, and then the best guys of the, did I say the East first? Then the West. East and West. You get it. We are going to have Garris do the East, and we're going to have Dave do the West. Dave is going to start off for us. Dave, who do we got rocking in the West this week?
You know, you can almost predict who I'm going to say. It's almost getting tiring, but I guess we'll mention him anyways. Left wing, we got I'm fourth line worthy. 3-0 on the week, 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 points, plus 15 on the week. Didn't get any penalty minutes. He beat Utica, Cleveland, and Belleville. Could have played better teams, but that's okay. He still went 3-0.
Utica and Cleveland are no slacks.
He's
Cleveland
throwing,
especially.
He's throwing.
Well, I think Cleveland, didn't they go...
They had a good week.
Did
week.
They?
Yes.
Okay. Shut up, Dave.
Go on, Dave.
Hey, yeah. Look at center. We got Dublaga, or however you say it, Dublaga from Cleveland, who went 3-0 on the week. 4 goals, 6 assists, plus 10 with 2 penalty minutes. He had no giveaways in a tight 2-0 win over San Diego, so that's very good. And his wins came against San Diego, Toronto, and Binghamton. Next up at right wing, we have Jive Turkey X91 from Cleveland again. Fun point. He had 7 goals, 4 assists, 11 points, and a plus 10 with 4 penalty minutes. I don't know why that was a fun point at all. He beat Binghamton, San Diego, and Toronto. They're on the same line. Maybe that was the fun point. That's what I was getting at.
That's so fun.
That's lit. Holy shit.
I had so much fun while he explained that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Fun fat.
Yeah. Left defense. Next, Jay Nemesis with Rockford. 2-0-1 on the week. 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points, 14 takeaways, and 13 giveaways on the week. So he's a +1. His wins came against Laval and Binghamton, and an OT loss against Stockton, where he scored the only goal and had a +4 takeaway giveaway ratio. So that loss, in my opinion, was not his fault. Can't blame any one guy, but you can't blame him. On right defense, we got Lindgren from, surprisingly, Manitoba. He went 3-0 on the week with 4 goals, 6 assists, and 10 points. 4 goals for defensemen, very good, even if you're on a winning team. That is very good to get in a week. His wins came against Utica, Cleveland, and Belleville. Same as fourth line. On goalie, we got Peking Duck from Ontario, who went 4-0-1 on the week. He had an 86% save percentage and a 1.59 goals against average and a shutout, which is very, very good to have. Wins versus Lehigh Valley, Bridgeport, Providence, and Colorado, and his only loss came to Springfield in overtime. And that is it for my lines of the week.
Dave, hold on, Sean. I want to just tell Dave, I felt he did an Dave, I was so hopeful this week when you start off with the flashing sweater and just going like this to start the show. You're looking good, man. Looking great. Sean, who do we got in the West? Let's hear it.
All right. Well, anyway, first, that guy, that center from Cleveland, his gamer tag's pronounced how I stutter. So I think that's how I got this inspiration. But anyway,
Thank you.
no problem. Fun fact for the show.
Hang on, time out. I need you to explain. That doesn't make sense to me.
Do you know how I
Blogger?
stutter? Do you know how I stutter and Bryson does the thing from Crash Bandicoot?
Where do we go?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
now
yeah.
about it. Go ahead.
All right. Wow.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
All right, East, left wing. We have a shocker pick right here. When did he become good? I think we should investigate him for second tagging. We have our commissioner, LG McDonald from the Utica Comets. Why do you think Mackey's doing so well this season? He did go 3-0, 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points, plus 6. He did beat Milwaukee, Cleveland, and Grand Rapids. I think he could play better teams, but, that's just the commissioner for you.
Go for that points leader, Got to play the easy teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's taking suit after faces. I don't mean the bash faces more, but I mean, like...
No, you do.
I do. I'm sorry. Actually,
Don't apologize.
I'm not
Continue.
sorry. I retract that statement. Anyway.
Better not attack.
All right. So, we have a center from the Lehigh Valley Phantoms who's only played like 7 games this season somehow. We have Neuwirth. He went 3-0 in the week, 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points, plus 4 penalty minutes, beat Binghamton, Bakersfield, and Belleville. He beat the Triple B, beat the big baller brand. LeVar Ball would be proud. That was really corny. I should move on. Right
Why
wing.
did you recognize it?
Hey, I'm doing the lines of the week. If this is your segment. You couldn't get your segment ready in time, so let's move on with me.
That's not the problem.
Right wing, we have Hero Identity from the Binghamton Senators. He went 3-0, 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points, just like Debo did last week. Following suit, plus 6, beat Colorado, Chicago, and Milwaukee. Fun fact, CCM as the acronym. Haha, hockey. Lefty, we have Prowsey 8 from the Providence Bruins, still hanging around. 4-0 on the week. He had 4 assists, or no, 4 assists. No, he actually had 3 assists. I don't know what's going on with that typo. 3 points plus 9. He beat Tuscan. I know that's too time. He beat Tuscan, Bakersfield, Rochester, and Texas.
Haha, fun fact, that's TBRT.
Oh, wow. What does that stand for, Dave?
You don't want to know.
Turtle butts really, I don't know.
Too big,
Tingle.
too big, ridiculous tranny. There we go. Let's move on.
All right, so right defenseman from the Hershey Squirts. We have their GM or AGM, one of their management. We have Brassard X16. He did go 2-0-1 on the week. I think he played with Crosby. 2 assists, 2 points. He did not have a plus minus. It was a 0, 2 penalty minutes, and he had 11 takeaways this week, and he had a 0 giveaway takeaway ratio. That's pretty impressive by defenseman. He did play against San Jose, San Antonio, and Stockton. He lost the overtime against Stockton, which is a pretty good overtime loss to take, and he did beat us in some pretty weird fashion, but a win's a win. All right. Moving on, we have the President of the United States from Laval, POTUS. He go 4-1 on the week. He had 80 shots in 5 games. It's pretty impressive. It's an average of 16 shots a game against 86.3 save percentage, 2.2 goals against, and he only let up 11 goals. He did beat Milwaukee, Colorado, Grand Rapids, Wilkes-Barre, and his only loss was against Cleveland, which is pretty impressive for the week. For the East, I'm sorry for my bad humor, and moving on.
Bad humor and bad acronyms. If we could never try that again.
You got to reference the big baller brand. They're a Pro Series team. That's all I know. And, our ball is pretty smart. But I was going to give Josh an idea for Dunk's detriments. You know that I'm Sean Avery guy? Why wasn't he a detriment?
We just don't have time to do the show tonight. That part of the show tonight. Because we started too late.
All right, well, can I just say something? I'll speak for you. Okay, fuck you. I'm Sean Avery, who names your gamer tag after a washed-up player who's a fashion model and tries to live vicariously through him. Anyway, moving on.
Time out. Isn't there rumors that Sean Avery is gay, too? Like, is that a thing?
No. I mean, he might be bisexual, but that doesn't matter. He porked some
It does matter.
All right, this is not what we're doing here.
Sorry, this moved on to TMZ real quick. So
Can we not? Like, we can't trigger people. Like, seriously.
Well,
God.
this is LGAHL network now, motherfucker. We're gossiping.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous. I'm cutting it off. All right,
No,
next up.
No.
I think so. It's funny.
Cut off Dunks.
Yep.
This
All
is
right.
bullshit. All right.
We are moving
Access.
on. You need to shut the hell up is what you need to do. Don't disrespect me ever.
Disrespect me in this house again. I swear to Christ. Wait, what time is it? It's 11:10. Devin's gonna be home soon, guys.
I know, but it's what I'm. All right, here we go. This is the end of the segment. We're going to the power rankings next. Sorry for the interruptions. It's next. Here it comes.
Here it comes.
What is going on, LG? And welcome back as we are here to wrap up the show. Apologies for the sloppy mess you had to deal with that last segment, but we are going to make this one nice and what? We're going to make this one nice and clean and crisp. It's going to be beautiful, just like Dave's sweater. So, starting off at number 10, Dave, who do we have?
All right, since the last segment was so sloppy, we're starting off with our sloppy seconds, the Hershey Squirts. They had a 6-1-2 week this week, which is very good. They had overtime losses to the San Diego Gulls and the Stockton Heat, both very good teams to take overtime losses to. Don't be ashamed of that. Their only loss this week came to the Ontario Reign, which was a 2-1 game. So again, a very close game. They almost went 9-0. Not quite, but almost. Their wins came against Bakersfield Condors, the Tucson Roadrunners, the Texas Stars, the San Jose Mate Lads, the Belleville Senators, and the San Antonio Rampage. And they were not rated last week. Go team. All right, go ahead, Dunks.
Yes. Number 9, Dunks, who do we have?
Okay, guys, I can count. All right, number 9. We have the Binghamton Devils, who did okay this week. They were 5-3-1.
6.
Excuse me?
Somebody wrote 6-3-1, so I apologize. It was 5-3-1.
No, they did play 6 games.
They played.
Oh!
6-3-1. Yeah, my bad.
I did not screw up.
1,
It's my-
2, 3,
Okay, maybe I can't count. Just we're fucking it all up.
7.
Well, you can count on meeting me in the parking lot.
Look, Bryson, you can catch and order these hands for one easy payment to try me. Knock it the fuck off.
You sound like Neji. Please retire.
Dunks, did you hear the cold winter is here, and there's a disease going around called these hands. You're about to catch them.
Ooh. Hey, we're supposed to get 4 inches of snow tomorrow. So
I didn't ask. Who is number 9?
I'm trying to get it out. Okay, number 9. We have the Binghamton Devils. Yeah, 6-3-1. My boy, how we do? Their overtime loss came in double overtime versus Jive Turkey and the boys on Cleveland. Otherwise, decent week from those people. They got the shit knocked out of them by Manitoba, which is to be expected. Some really tight games versus Grand Rapids and Chicago. Not really too much to talk about. That 6-5 overtime loss was a high-scoring game with Cleveland, but other than that, most of their games were pretty low scoring. Who do we have at number 8?
Very good. Garrus?
Wow, 8. Nice. All right.
Yes.
So we have the Utica Comets. Nice.
Comets.
The Utica Comets. Sorry, I probably just got communication band. I got the cock right there. They go 6-3 on the week. They did beat Milwaukee. They did beat Cleveland. Ooh, big win. Grand Rapids, Colorado, Rockford, and Hartford. They lost against Manitoba, actually by 1 goal, which is actually not that bad. Actually, all 3 games this week that they lost were all by 1 to Iowa and Hartford. 2 of them were 3-2 games. One of them was a 4-3 game. Certainly, you want to be in that position in the power rankings, obviously. That's self-explanatory. 1 would be better than 8. Anyway, if I can count. But no, Brody's really carrying the slack on the team. Sergeant Sketchy is also another guy we played against and actually did a good job of shutting me down, but that's not that hard. But anyway, yeah, going the final week of the season, they're in good position. Who do we have at number 7?
God, I can't stand it. At number 7, we've got a team currently tied for second in the Pacific. It is the San Diego GAHLs. The GAHLs team I've been praising all season, and think they're better than what we give credit for. Put in a very good week, a 6-2-1 week. That overtime loss coming against Springfield. Not too much of a confidence booster for the squad. They gotta learn. I mean, Springfield's not all that bad, despite them not being a playoff team. I mean, I've seen them giving some teams some problems, but got to pick up those wins. But their other 2 losses came against Wilkes-Barre Scranton 6-2 and Cleveland 2-0. Close game there. Their wins this week were against Hartford, Charlotte, Bridgeport, Providence, Hershey in a 4-3 game on Tuesday, and a 4-3 win against Lehigh Valley. Lehigh Valley, despite losing a lot, they're still contending. They're still competing. So a very good week for San Diego. They were last week 8th, so they bumped up 1 spot, slowly climbing the ladder here before playoffs. So a very good week for San Diego. At number 6, who do we have, Dave?
I just have to correct you. It's Charlotte, but okay.
You're right. I apologize. I will.
Yeah,
I will.
Good. You should.
Thank you.
Anyways, we have the Ontario Reign. Okay, they went 7-1-1 on the week, with their loss coming to the Penguins and an overtime loss coming to the Springfield Thunderbirds. Their wins coming against the Charlotte Checkers, or Checkers, whatever you want, and the Ontario Reign, or Phantoms. Yeah. They shut out the Phantoms. Okay. They beat the Hershey Bears 2-1. The Hartford Wolfpack 7-2. The Bridgeport Sound Tigers, Providence Bruins, and Colorado Eagles. I am so sorry.
You butchered that one, buddy. I gotta say, you fucking fucked that one up.
According to me, they beat themselves 3 times, but that's fine.
I'm like doing other things, and I'm like, wow, he is struggling right now. This is not
really
clean, Dave.
fucking that one.
I don't know what the problem was, but there was a problem, and it was me.
All right, well, we resolved it, so let's get on with the news.
Go ahead, Dunks.
Let's get on
Number
with the
5.
news. Anyways, number 5, we have the
The revolver.
Laval Coquettes. They went 5-3-1 this week. Big overtime loss against Iowa to start the week, 6-5. They did beat Manitoba 7-1 and Milwaukee 9-2. Big wins there, and a big win over Wilkes-Barre 6-3. A lot of 1-goal losses against Chicago, Cleveland, and they had a couple 1-goal wins. Maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping. Lost to Rockford 4-1. So, couple good wins, couple big losses. They really got to find a way to beat teams like Rockford and Chicago, in my opinion, and Iowa, in all honesty. But they're still sitting comfortably at the top of their division. They don't really have a whole lot to worry about. They're up 4 points on Utica, but maybe Brody McDicklick can carry the boys to number 1, but I doubt it. Anyways, moving on to number what are we on now? 4.
Let me ask you. You said Brody McDicklick carrying the boys?
Yeah.
You know, we were just talking about Laval, right?
Yeah. I'm saying Brody carries Utica over Laval and takes over first, and Laval falls to second.
I concede. Go ahead. Get on with it, Garrett.
Hang on.
Number 4, Garrett. Number 4.
No, I'm going to go get the whiteboard. I'm going to draw it out for you.
All right, so forgot to mention in my Utica, so speaking of communists, that's Brody. Girl told me she was communist last night at the bar, or actually last Friday at the bar.
Nobody asked.
Yeah,
No, I'm just giving the information because I'm calling Brody a communist. Anyway, so our number 4 team, which comes after, or comes, before 5, and then, 3 is after. if you're counting down. We have the Stockton Heat. They did go 6-2-1 on the week. They did beat the Hershey Bears, as we mentioned, like 52 times in the lines of the week. They did beat Providence, as I probably mentioned before with Krause. They did beat the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, the Charlotte Cheekers, Charlotte Nice 10-1. That's I'm surprised Charlotte's still going. And then they beat the Rockford Ice Hogs and the Hartford Wolfpack. Seems like everyone's beating Hartford. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They lost to Lehigh Valley, which is a head scratcher after all the moves that have been made. They lost to Springfield. That one's got to hurt really bad. And they did lose to Wilkes-Barre over a controversial play regarding the laws of physics and hockey in itself, with the force with like 9 seconds left in the game to get to whoever their center was, and then trying to shit talk Grandpa Cock 420. So yeah, Stockton still leading the division, but we should have another win on the column, or at least another overtime loss. But NHL 18 likes to fuck you sometimes. They call it expected anal sports, so you got to be on your guard.
Who wrote this up? Who wrote this up that I follow you?
What?
Why couldn't I follow someone else? Garrus is killing me. He's making it hard for me.
Oh, Bryson, who do we have at number 3?
Yeah, I know. Number 3, we shut up. Number 3, we had last week's number 2 team, currently sitting atop of the Eastern Conference. They're 7 points ahead of Laval. It is Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. The Penguins put in a average week, reason why we dropped them. But however, their wins, they did pick up some pretty huge wins, beating Ontario 2-1, San Diego 6-2, 8-0 against Bakersfield. I don't think Bakersfield's that bad of a team, so it's still a pretty good win. 6-1 over Tucson. Not going to talk about that. And 3-2 over Stockton, as Garrus just mentioned. Losses came against Texas 5-3. Texas trying to fight to get into the playoffs, catch up to the Mate Lads. San Antonio 3-1, Laval 6-3, and a 6-2 loss to finish up the week against those Mate Lads. Wilkes-Barre Scranton looks like they're going to cruise in here for the number 1 spot in the East, but they dropped to third here in our rankings, mainly on the 5-4 week. So we'll see if they get a better week out of them next week. Number 2, who do we got? Dave.
Okay, so I'm not going to fuck this one up. I might. We've got the Cleveland Monsters at number 2, making a huge jump from number 10 last week. They had a very, very good week. They went 7-1-1. Their overtime loss coming to the Utica Comets, and their only regulation loss coming against the Manitoba Moose. You couldn't lose to a better team, I guess, as your only loss of the week. But they did beat the Belleville Senators, the Syracuse Crunch, the Rochester Americans, Toronto Marlies, Laval Rocket, shut out the San Diego Gulls, and beat the Binghamton Devils. They didn't have a very, very easy week either. They beat some very good teams in there, lost to some very good teams, but they deserved the number 2 spot this week. But at number 1, I couldn't swing a guess. Dunks, who are they? Your favorite team?
Yeah, fucking Bryson, man. I'm really getting sick of him picking who I get to.
It was on purpose.
I know. Oh, I know wholeheartedly that it was on purpose. I knew it was like, hey, how can I fuck with Dunks and make him hate his life even more? But anyways, moving on. We have the what?
I see Devin's in the back.
What?
Devin's in the back, like peeking. He's like,
oh. Damn it. Lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah.
Manitoba.
Your favorite team?
Shh, I didn't announce it yet. Guys, Manitoba is our number 1 team in the power rankings. They went 6-2-1 this week. As mentioned, they got mollywopped by the Laval Rocket, and the Rochester Americans beat them 4-2. They lost in overtime to Syracuse. I don't know. They only beat Bakersfield 3-2, but like we've been saying, Bakersfield is a solid team. I mean, slapped up Belleville 9-0, slapped Cleveland 5-0. Cleveland's been a mainstay in our power rankings for most of the season. Same with Binghamton, beat them 5-1. So they beat some good teams, lost to some suspect teams, and all in all, another good week from Fourth Lines boys. Not really too much else to talk about. I do want to remind everyone that next episode we will have our season, our team of the season. Remember we talked about that, Chris?
Sure. Yeah, works for me.
Yeah, next week we'll have team of the season, and we will have an interview, hopefully with.
Don't end. Not yet. Don't announce it. Don't ruin the surprise.
I was just gonna say with the manager.
Okay. Well, there you go. I don't know you. You're unpredictable right now.
Josh is really struggling this episode.
I'm a loose.
Everyone struggled. Everyone struggled.
I'm distracted by the flashy lights.
I believe it.
I see them out of the corner of my eye, and I twitch.
My excuse is going 0-3 and having finals. So
I will say this, Dunks. In all honesty, when I was writing out the names, I swear I did not do it. I start from the bottom, so I start from 10, and I go, okay, who's on the panel this week, and I just go up to 1. And when I saw it was you, I thought, now that's very nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I feel like he starts at 1.
That's all right.
Who starts
he
at
probably
10?
does.
Who does that?
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Because he even lists it like 1 first and then 10. I bet you he starts at the top.
I do not.
Way down.
I don't. No, because I don't want to put myself at the bottom and go, okay, so here's myself starting with the rankings. Great. I want to pass it to someone else. You know what I mean?
Hey, Josh.
So, Dave, I guarantee you, Chris is lying. We're just going to have to watch him next week when he does it on the.
I'm going to watch the Google Doc, and
we're just going to stare at it all fucking day.
Hey, it's a long top.
I'm going to watch it.
It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll.
What?
Thank you. He's referencing an AC/DC song.
You uncultured swine.
Perfect.
Yep, this is relevant.
Yeah, relevant.
Josh got the top spot.
Look, I don't like to be on top. That's a lot of work. I like to be on the bottom.
Touche, my man.
Wow. You have sex or something.
Anyways, moving on. Pardon me. That Sean, God damn it, that Sean Avery guy is a fucking idiot. That's all I really got. I'm
just gonna flash Dunks' detriments for that 1 second that he said he's a fucking idiot. There's your detriment.
Is he not? Like, I'm not.
You wanted a quick show.
I mean, I looked at his forum and went, "Yeah, no thanks," and kept moving along. What can I say?
I think I read the first paragraph and said, "Fuck it."
My thing was like he titled it "All League Records," period, and I'm like, is it something about like the league record book? Like, what is this? Like, I'm confused as to what the fuck this is. And this man's is just talking about how he got some penalties.
Clickbait and fake news.
Clickbait. That is clickbait.
It is clickbait. I was triggered, and that's why I felt the need to comment.
That's fair. But all right.
Hey, I do have some good news. I don't know. He told me to shout him out, but I don't want to say his actual name in case he doesn't want his business out there. But I am going to be a dunkle because one of my ex-line mates got his girlfriend pregnant. If he decides he wants to tell you guys who it is, he'll comment in the thread below.
Just
great.
It'll be coming TMZ.
Dave, what's funny? You were the least detrimental person this week, I feel.
Hey,
I feel like I was a pretty big detriment, to be honest. So I'm honored.
I don't think so. You did a pretty good job when you're considering Garrison Dunks.
Look, listen.
We look like the LA series all week, all show.
I love how you reference things that people don't know, Sean.
Yeah, what is the LA series?
I want to shout out that next week I'll have a different ugly sweater, and the week after have the birthday suit on. So.
It's your birthday.
All right, it's getting out of hand. Thank you all for watching the show. We're gonna wrap up the show.
I want to know if it's Dave's birthday.
We'll find out when I close the show. How about that? Does that sound good?
We'll find out next show.
Yeah, next show. See, cliffhangers. We're planting seeds. I like it. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Thank you all for watching as Dunks is appalled right now. Thank you all for being on the... Thank you, Dunks, Dave, and Garrus for being on the show. Thank you all for putting up with our ridiculousness all show. And we will see you all next week. We're going to do the team of the season. It's a good idea, Dunks. We'll definitely run that. So we'll see you all next week. Who knows what else we'll have? You'll have to stick around.
The detriments of the season.
Well, I like it.
Ooh.
Well, things are going to get interesting next week. We're going to mix things up a little bit, so stick around. We are planning to run this through the playoffs as well, so it won't be as long of shows, but we'll definitely have some news for you there. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you all next week.
There's no excuses.